Foundations excerpt number 18, Inner Child, Inner Critic and Dialogue, Removing Blocks, Active Process Exercise. Our goal is to hack the subconscious mind to free the inner child and correct timelines through a memory recall process. We accomplish this by creating access points for identifying the inner critic and dialogue to heal and clear negative timelines that were created by emotional pain and energy patterns associated with the shadow body. It was through our emotional pain that our shadows were able to exert power over us through deceptions, creating a lower quality conscious perception, poor discernment, and lack of clarity. Journaling exercise. The first layer, and there are many, that we need to peel away to identify our inner critic that was shaped and formed between the ages of 1 and 3 by your immediate caregivers. The first 3 years of your life, your brain was in observer mode as you downloaded their mannerisms, actions, reactions, responses, coping skills, and everything positive, negative in between. We must transport our consciousness back in time to recall as much detail about our caregivers as possible to witness what we experienced. Our self-worth is directly related to how we were treated, interacted with, and spoken to in the formative years. It's not only what happened to us, but what didn't happen for us that also had an impact on us. Going into this journaling exercise, it's important to go with the flow and be patient with yourself. Do not push too hard too quickly. Look towards your higher self to guide you safely through your memories and begin the process with the following statement. I now give myself permission to push past all blocks and barriers, keeping me from releasing childhood memories safely and effectively. I now ask my higher self/soul to bring into my awareness all known and unknown information to help me expand into higher awarenesses. Contemplate in as much detail as possible your caregivers as if you're writing a biography about their life. Describe their childhood. What hardships did they endure and overcome? What was their overall energy and demeanor? Was it nervous, anxious, fearful, impatient, angry, or kind, patient, nurturing, and loving? Were they selfish or selfless? Did they use guilt or fear as tools to keep you in line? How were you treated overall? Did they speak kindly or did they criticize you? Were they emotionally unavailable? Were they present and interactive? Did they leave you with babysitters or other family members due to work obligations or a busy social life? Did you have siblings? If so, was there a difference in your treatment? Was there favoritism? Were they supportive of your hopes and dreams and aspirations? Or did they have a plan already carved out for your life? Were you spoiled and given everything you wanted? Was your home clean or dirty? Did they drink alcohol or do drugs? If so, how did they act? Did you have both parents or were you raised by a single parent? Describe your parents' relationship. How did they interact with each other? Were they affectionate or did they argue? Was there any mental, physical, or substance abuse in your family? Was there a lot of yelling in the home or passive-aggressive behavior? Were there any family members with special needs, handicaps, or mental illnesses? Were you loved on, touched, and hugged physically? What was your social status? Was money tight or did it flow? Were you taught money management skills? How did your parents act or react towards problem solving or money issues? Was there any depression or suicide attempts in your family? Were there any parents who were incarcerated? Did your parent or sibling die before the age of 18? Did you witness any childhood friends suffer trauma, such as rape, incest, or a bad accident? Did your house ever catch fire? Did you have enough food? Were you ever homeless? Did you grow up feeling shameful or embarrassed because of your clothes, the house you lived in, or the car that your parents drove? Was there any sexual abuse or pedophilia in the family? Did your parents go to church or did they subscribe to a religion? What were their expectations of you? Were they too strict or too lenient? When did you begin drinking alcohol or doing drugs? What was your first relationship like? When was the first time you had sex? Were you promiscuous? Did you lie to your parents and pretend to be a certain way because you knew they wouldn't accept the real you? Did you take medication in childhood? Have any surgeries? Were you ever in a bad accident? Did you have any learning disabilities? Or did you have any law enforcement issues? These questions should help you start the important process of sorting and sifting to jog the memory bank. Our goal is to regain our full memory in order to take absolute control over our mind, to recapture our original spirit essence and connect with their soul at the deepest level. We win the war over consciousness by battling our shadows for sovereignty in the negative timelines that were created in childhood. Here are some additional questions for childhood memory recall. Number 1, write down some of the sayings, expressions, or advice you heard at home growing up. Who said them? What did they mean? Do you use any of these expressions today? Number 2, can you remember your mom or grandmom's kitchen? Use sight and smell words. Number 3, who was your first best friend? Write about some of the fun things you used to do together. Number 4, what was your happiest childhood memories? Describe one event and the feelings associated with it. Number 5, what was your most beloved toy? Describe it and the feelings that come to mind when you think about it. Number 6, what did you enjoy play acting? Number 7, think about a childhood event that made you feel anxious or afraid. Describe the event itself and the feelings that stirred up. Number 8, did you grow up with family traditions? If so, describe one. Number 9, what were some of your favorite books and describe why you liked them? Number 10, do you have any quirky or interesting relatives in your family tree? Describe one of them. Number 11, did you have any broken bones or were you ever hospitalized? Describe a childhood injury or illness. Number 12, describe some of the foods you enjoyed eating in childhood. Number 13, describe the most memorable vacation. Did anything interesting happen? Go ahead and journal these questions and take your time. You may want to come back to these questions. You may want to do it 15, 20 minutes here and there. Go at your leisure, but really sit and give some thought to these questions. And you'll be really surprised what these questions yield.